What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. It's Cat Day, and once again, kind of a slow burn news. I mean, there's been a few deals here and there, nothing involving the Braves, and it sounds like a Dylan Cease trade possibility kind of fell through because the Padres' asking price was ridiculous. So that's off the table as of now. Let me share this real quick. There we go. Literally, not really any minor league news or hey, Charles. There is not much going on at all. Yeah. Really. Jordan Schaefer. That's a name and a half. Hold on. I have no idea. He didn't last that long. What's up, Hudson? There is like nothing going on based on everything that I did last week, but there were a couple of minor league deals as I look up what Jordan Schaefer is doing. Ramon Laureano signed with the Orioles today. 1 year, $4 million. The Orioles have 1 million outfielders, but Laureano crushes lefties and saved our outfield last year, so that might be a thing there. Lefty Tim Hill re-signed with the Yankees, $2.85 million, I think, and then Randall Grichuk re-signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks, 1 year, $5 with a mutual option. And Danny Kolomek, a lefty reliever. No, we are not going to get Dylan Cease at this time. As far as I know, because the asking price was ridiculous, like AJ Smith-Shawver plus Drake Baldwin plus a little bit more. So as I know of, no, we are not right now, and I don't want us to, given that package at all. Also, that's not really it. But people acting like Sean Murphy and Drake Baldwin can't coexist is wild to me. And I think people are just really mad that Sean Murphy got hurt last year because everybody seems to dislike him for some reason. And I feel like that is super wrong. I mean, I realize that everybody loved Willie C. and he's done a fantastic job with the Brewers, but people acting like Sean Murphy is a scrub is kind of weird to me, and that his contract is bad. I don't know. Maybe I'm too easy, but I just don't see how that's that bad right now, but that's just my opinion. That's been going around a lot this week. Schaefer. I just don't get it, but But as of now, no, we're not getting Dylan Cease. I really don't know what we're doing with the starting pitching market. Jack Flaherty finally re-signed back with the Detroit Tigers. 2 years, 35. Now, well, it's possible getting a bullpen piece for Kelnick, but I think there's still a ton of relievers that are solid, honestly, to just get a free agent. There's still like 120 free agents out there, or maybe more. And I feel like there's a lot of quality in that way. I mean, cheaper. And I honestly think Kelnick. I think Kelnick is a solid fourth outfielder, and he's going to get a lot of playing time early in right field. So I mean, that's definitely possible that we could swing that, but starting pitching is probably more important or the most important, but I don't know when we're going to do all that, Hudson, but if we don't, it might be a long year. Kind of just joking there, but I don't know. I don't think we're gonna pull the plug on Kelnick this early. I don't. I mean, he has 4 years of control still left. We did a lot of maneuvering to get him. But it's definitely possible that we could trade him. But I think starting pitching is more important right now. Pitching overall is what we really need, but it's possible. It's definitely possible, but I just see Kelnick getting one more quality shot, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe more at the deadline, depending on how he does. Because you still need depth. With Acuna's injury, you might want to. Because of Acuna's injury, you might want to give him a couple extra days off or something of that nature. So, yeah, Swellenbach having a good season would be fantastic. And we honestly need it. With the uncertainty in the starting rotation as of right now. But like I said, there's still a lot of free agents out there, and there's still a lot of things that can happen. Jordan Schaefer's last MLB appearance, Charles, was 2015 for the Minnesota Twins. And it doesn't list anything else. So there's your answer on that. But even that, I think the crystal ball is even foggy. I mean, obviously we've wanted to upgrade the bullpen with us being with Jordan Schaefer is the first name Charles brings up. That's definitely a blast from the past. But we wanted to upgrade the bullpen with Jeff Hoffman being a possible, and then that deal falling through of him being a starter / reliever, and then Tanner Scott almost happening, but not. So, but again, I think there's still quality out there on the market. And how long is it supposed to? I'd probably, I don't know how long it's supposed to, but the way AA does prospects and stuff, at best, I'd say probably 2 years. Maybe. I mean, he's 16. He throws 102. I don't know. I haven't seen anything on how close they think he is, honestly. But again, I mean, I don't think we'll see any of those guys in spring training this year, but maybe next year, and maybe they'll start going through our minor league system. I will have to ask um, some guys that know that kind of stuff better than me, and I will get back to you because that's a very interesting thought I didn't even think of. But I will definitely have an answer for you next Tuesday on that. But I think he's gonna be a no update on Ronald other than a soft return date is May 2nd against the Dodgers. Yes, it did. For sure. I think that's one of the things that I was happy with what we did this offseason. Getting a lot of quality depth and to see what it's going to do, because now we at least have guys that have been through the majors and all that stuff. And I think the international market really helped as well. So I think it's funny to me that our farm system is always ranked bottom third, but you always see a Spencer Schwellenbach or Nacho Alvarez or something come up the year and come up in 1 year and kind of make an impact. So it's always funny to me. And you got guys like Drew Hackenberg, J.R. Ritchie, A.J. Smith-Shawver. Those guys, I think we're going to see a lot more of them in spring training. Even if they didn't get a official invite to spring training, they're still going to throw some innings, pitch some innings. So we're going to see it. Yeah, we do. We find that's the remarkable part. We find a gem. I think Cam Kittanity will definitely be up there as well. I think he might be the next one that has a jetpack through the minor leagues. And I think a few of those relievers, especially the Rule 5 reliever, Pilar, I think he's going to have an impact. But again, there's still a lot of moves that could be made. I mean, shoot, trade for a starter, trade for a veteran, maybe, and then find a reliever like Andrew Chafin or something of that. So I think there's a lot of intriguing things to follow in spring training. Even if they're not like household names or anything, we, like you said, we usually find one or two, and this year it definitely has that possibility as we sit. I mean, like, there's still a lot to be decided, be determined, and everything else. Even though it's only, what is it, February 4th, 8 days until pitchers and catchers report. So, but yeah, I think we're in a better position than people are giving us credit for, despite the lack of splashy moves outside of Profar. And I get it. I think it would be kind of for Chris Sale, anything's possible, but I think it'd be kind of unfair to him to maybe expect the level of last year. But who knows? He could also go to a turbo level. But I think it would almost be unfair. I'd say my best guess would be a slight downturn, but not super drastic at all. I think he's too much of a his stuff is still good, his process is still good, and that his pitching angle is still amazing. It could be a slight downturn, but I wouldn't put anything past Chris Sale, honestly. I really wouldn't. And I think the Braves overall, even though we all like the splashy break the internet type of moves, but I think we're in a better position than a lot of teams. San Diego, the Mariners, and the Cardinals have done absolutely nothing. And that's really surprising to me. And I think that there's a lot of potential for some really good surprises for the Braves. And it's going to be an interesting spring training because I think there's always storylines that pop up. And there's a lot of storylines that that are going to be fun and exciting and interesting to follow. But yeah, I mean, what did Chris Sale go last year? Like 18-3. So at worst, maybe like a 12 to 14 wins. I mean, that's obviously I'm still a little concerned about using Grant Holmes and AJ Smith-Shawver as our 4-5 as I would project it right now, and that's why I hope we're able to add and able to do something. But if we go that route, I mean, we all know starting pitching costs an arm and a leg, so you got to be creative, and the Braves have done that. And if we find another Chris Sale, that would be fantastic. But he has too good of stuff to be the new Jesse. But I can see that as well. But he did seem better when he had long relief appearances, even though he did fantastic in the last game, five innings for us to make the playoffs. But yeah, I would agree he's probably better suited that way. But I kind of want to avoid another Bryce Elder year unless Bryce Elder became something, added a new pitch or something in spring training. He just he doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies, or his ceiling scares me every single time he goes on the mound because you never know what you're going to get. Despite his all-star first half, which I give him heck of credit for, and being the yo-yo for the minor leagues is a hard thing, but I don't know. Bryce Elder is kind of my least favorite of our pitching depth at the moment. So if he could get a change of scenery and we could get something good there, you talking Bryce Elder or Grant Holmes on that one, Hudson? But yeah, I mean, Bryce, I don't know. I'm interested to see how Hurston Waldrop does as well, coming off his injuries and stuff. Because he had a lot of blow-ups. Obviously, it's a small sample size, but like kind of hitting that wall. I know, but do you really believe Bryce is quality enough to with the crafty stuff that he has? He doesn't have a lot of margin for error with his stuff, so I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but I would love for him to, because I think he gets too much crap on social media, but I also get it because he really either is decent or explodes. Um, Ron Gant is working some news as a news anchor, I believe. So yeah, I don't know. I would just prefer a little bit more clarity in the starting rotation than going with a couple of guys that don't necessarily have. Um, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Can he take that step forward? It's there for the taking, but I don't know if he has the stuff or the ability to develop another pitch, or like explode to the next level. So and I'm not saying he needs to be an ace, but he needs to give us a chance to win every single time going out. And I don't know how you develop that, but he probably has the inside track as of now for one of our 4 or 5 spots. I just wish um no, I do not know. I know he came to a game this past year, so but he's hanging in there, as I know. That's true. I mean, but we couldn't figure out Kevin Gausman, neither could the Reds until he got to Toronto. He didn't figure it out. So maybe we pulled the plug on him too quickly. So I'll give Bryce Elder a little bit more time. It's just I would rather have more stability and know what I'm getting with one of those 4 or 5 spots in the rotation. Um, but who knows? Somebody is gonna. I hope somebody takes a stranglehold of it, so that's not a big glaring question mark. And I mean, obviously, and I hope we make some additions still, and some guys that have a little bit more of a back of the baseball card would be nice. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot when it comes to players and the philosophies, and it's just never ending cycle. You just want to be right more than you're wrong. And we've been right with Alex Anthopoulos and company more than we've been wrong. I mean, Chris Sale for Vaughn Grisham, and Chris Sale turns into a Cy Young winner. Yeah, you wouldn't have predicted that one. Although I wish I did, because that would have been a nice chunk of change. But I mean, yeah, there's not like a lot of. The bench may be interesting, whether De La Cruz or Kelenic, as that question earlier. Kelenic takes the next step. I think this is a really huge year for Kelenic. Because, again, you don't want to pull the plug too early, but he's also kind of a valuable asset in terms of the years he has left on his contract. I am kind of surprised Kyle Finnegan is still a free agent as well. That's a little surprising. And the fact that Pete Alonso or Alex Bregman haven't signed yet is a little wonky to me too. But it's also the balance of the clubhouse and the character, and there's just so many factors to everything, and the health. Pete Alonso nor Alex Bregman have signed. No, they have not. And I know Pete Alonso's turned down at least 6 contracts, I think. So that's wild. So yeah, I don't know what they're waiting on. I know Scott Boras has something to do with Pete Alonso, probably more than likely, but yeah, I don't know what Seattle's doing either. They've done less than nothing. And they need some offense to go with. No, Tyler Matzik is currently a free agent. And apparently he's developed another pitch, a cutter. So maybe we will sign him back on a minor league deal. I'm not sure there. So that's still possible because I think we need some more depth in the left-handed reliever market, but I'm not quite sure. All right, see ya, Hudson. Thanks for hanging. But yeah, I mean, there's still a ton of players that haven't made decisions and whatnot. But overall, I mean, the Braves are. I can't wait till we can actually talk about some things and some workouts and some actual games just to see how things are progressing. Because not that I mind making things up and whatnot. It's kind of wild. I know it's our jobs as content creators too, but when moves happen, it makes it a lot easier, and like the speculation and stuff, I'm not usually big time and all of that because I don't want to get people's hopes up or whatnot because I don't have actual sources like that. Um, but it's fun to think about, and like with all these wild NBA trades, you just kind of makes you think that anything can happen, but you also kind of have to be realistic to not mortgage your future versus the present, given how some other rosters are constructed with like the Dodgers and things like that. So you just I'm just really glad I'm not the one making the decisions because I would have more of a inclination to make a knee jerk reaction and it could destroy the future. Even if you win in the present, it might destroy the future. So that's a delicate balance that every team has to battle, and I think that's always why I'm careful with how I frame things. Even if I have been frustrated with the quiet off season, I'm trying to be logical and even if there is some frustration and I voice that, there's also I'm always going to be a Braves fan no matter what. So we've been through terrible, long, gross rebuilds before, so it's not like and I know it's our championship window and you got to take advantage of it, but you also can't do crazy things that you're going to regret. Buyer's remorse, so to speak. So, like I said, that's why it's a delicate balance as a content creator to have a lot of speculation and hypotheticals and all that stuff. I am terrible at that. You guys know that. A lot of you do. My preference for things is to um, see the move, digest it, and then kind of formulate what my opinion is on it, and then watch it develop and materialize, so to speak. It may be a cop out, but that's kind of how I do things. Craig Kimbrell is currently a free agent, and no, I do not want him back. He's just too much of a wild card boomer bust type of thing. I mean, Rick Kranitz could do wonders with a lot of things, but that one just feels way too far past, so to speak. Thanks, Charles. I tried to have the most creative hats I can. The Red Sox have had discussions about Nolan Arenado. Like I said, I think the most puzzling off seasons are the Seattle Mariners, the San Diego Padres, and the St. Louis Cardinals. But if they're able to swing a Nolan Arenado trade, maybe they'll start start the inevitable rebuild or retool that they desperately need. They've had recent conversations, but again, I think that is pinned upon wherever Alex Bregman signs, whenever that is, and I'm not sure. But again, there's not a lot of tangible, actual news to really talk about. And as we get deeper into spring training and get deeper in the month of February, I'm sure there will be. So these Castmac chats will be jam-packed. But creating conversation and creating dialogue's been awesome despite the slowness of the off season. So I do appreciate that big time. Thank you, Charles. So that's pretty. Like I said, some of the free agents that are still out there are definitely surprising, but again, this is their livelihoods, and you gotta make sure it's right for you. For you, your family, the team, everything. So, and like I said, the prices are they're not as crazy now, but at the beginning when everything started, they were bonkers. So, and trades, you gotta be comfortable with the price and draft picks and money and all that jazz too. So it's not a exact science, especially when the initial prices skyrocket and go through the roof. Probably changes the mindset of a lot of teams and a lot of current plans. So don't think I have anything else. I know it's only 38 minutes and I try to get an hour, but I don't think there's much else unless something breaks in the next minute or so. Yeah, nothing broke, so so I'm just gonna cut this one short, but as always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully next Tuesday there will be a lot of stuff happening. That'll be the 13th, so that'll be a day after pitchers and catchers report. So there might be a lot of things to talk about. And enjoy the Super Bowl, enjoy the halftime show, enjoy all of that. And I will see you guys next week. And if there is anything, of course, I will keep you informed. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button on YouTubes and all the good buttons, and have a great night. As always, go Braves.